what is it that you need and how can we support you? It's the difference between asking what people need and offering what you think they need. Because I think that's a thing that happens a lot, especially in Indigenous communities, is just throwing resources and that includes, food even, at people without even saying, hey, are you hungry? So, but yeah, I think those are some of the ways, as well as being able to validate Indigenous voices by creating platforms for their voices to be heard. I think cannabis companies, especially in BC, can use that, use their platforms, their websites, their social medias, even their spaces that they take up to support the local communities in their programs, their art, their radio, their fitness, their food, their growing careers even. There's so many people and so many ways that we can help.
Nobody sees this, and I'm trying not to make it audible, but I've been snapping the whole time you were talking. I'm like, yes, so much, yes, all of this, yes. And I'm like, I think they're going to edit this out, so I'm going to do it very quietly, but and it's so interesting because, it kind of goes back to, utilizing our privilege, right? And, there's, this tremendous opportunity to really use cannabis as a beacon for good and to just, I'm just so incredibly, I'm so incredibly refreshed by your views. Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, thank you. Well, know that they're shared by many people who live here. I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Oh, I dig it. And you know what? I think maybe it's just me personally. I've just been so inundated with kind of cannabis news, even just regular media, and all you hear is just stocks and valuations and this and that, and I think sometimes the message can get lost that there is definitely this side of cannabis that's so incredibly human, that's so community based, that's so compassionate, and also that's just very fiery and very very propelled and escalated and initiated and ignited. I feel like we wouldn't be where we are today if it weren't, the passion of advocacy. And I really hope that, that continues going forward, right? In this legalization 1.0 landscape. I don't know. You're such a dope human being. I love chatting with you. Now, a conversation with a fellow Filipino PNX isn't complete. We've already had our chat about karaoke, so we chatted. We discussed one component of your typical Filipino upbringing and kind of loves. But a conversation with a fellow PNX isn't complete without a conversation about food. We love food. I love food. Do you love food?
Love food.
Now a part of kind of my exploration or reclaiming of my Filipino roots. It's kind of small, but I've been rediscovering a lot of yummy Filipino dishes and snack food.
Yeah.
And and I know I'm not alone when I say that there's nothing better than cannabis and Filipino food. It's kind of this perfect pairing. Do you have any favorite post-ish Filipino munchies or anything? Any good combos?
I say it's a pastime because it's more so hey, do you want to go for a bike ride and blaze and then go to Max's or Josephine or whatever Filipino restaurant, fill in the blank here. So that's definitely a thing in my life. And actually, even this weekend, I was in Edmonton, and no joke, after hitting up my very first Alberta legal shop, just to try it out, I walked around the corner afterwards and went to the Filipino dessert shop and had a pandan Twinkie. And I also had my own built ice cream sandwich with one side was a cornflake cookie, the other side was a ube cookie, and it had kissed ice cream in the middle.
Whoa. Okay, let's back up. You need to explain what these delicious things are. So, when you say a pandan Twinkie, I know what a Twinkie is, but what is pandan?
So pandan is it's like a root, vegetable, and leaf. I believe we're eating the leaf part. It looks like a palm type of plant. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like fragrant, flavorful.
Okay. Yeah. I saw like a picture meme not too long ago, and it said pandan is like the Filipino vanilla. And I think you're right. It's kind of got that aromatic kind of like that deliciousness. So ube, what is ube?
And then ube is it's like a purple yam. It's a root vegetable. I don't know if purple yam is the equivalent, or that's just what people call it. But it looks like a purple yam. But it's often used in beverages and desserts.
Oh, okay.
And has a bit more of a flat taste. Not really like not as aromatic, and it's a pretty basic flavor, but really widely known across, I would say, all of Ireland.
And queso is cheese, right? Okay, so this sounds amazing. So you've got this sweet and crunchy and cold and creamy and slightly salty and umami combo after your joint. That sounds like the perfect day.
Yeah. And then, of course, my most current guilty pleasure is the Pampanga's Best Chicharron, which is made in Vancouver. I don't know if you can buy it anywhere else, but they make pork and chicken chicharron, which I went through a bag of each this weekend.
Oh, yes. No judgment. That stuff is amazing. Yeah. So for those who may not know what chicharron is like the deep fried either pork or chicken skins, right? They're delicious. I guess in the South they're called cracklins, maybe. Yeah, pork rinds. Yeah, so they're keto friends if you're into that. Yeah, so you know what, Emmy, I have a couple more questions before we wrap up. And because I'm really hungry now, do you have any creative passion projects, or do you have any opportunities that you're excited to be working on?
Currently right now, like anything that's outside of cannabis has been backburnered. But my passion projects, have been around building community with other decolonizing Filipinos, cultivating that community through healing and artistic exploration. My Indigenous Filipino art collective, Katara, has been in operation since 2003. And to this day, we've never had an address to call home. So one of my projects I envision completing with the help of my connection to cannabis is to one day find a home for Katara. That's probably my biggest project. Yeah, in my heart, I could have a little sari store with a little window in the back with somebody's grandma cooking adobo. Alternative to the grandma, actually, I would like to have my roommate Highwell. I'm going to plug Highwell for a second because he's in Toronto, and he's another badass Filipino in the space of working in solidarity with Indigenous folks. So check out his spot if anyone is around there. It's called Nish Dish on Bloor, NISHDISH. But that guy can cook, and he will work in my sari store making adobo in the back while I'm selling calamansi slushies in the front, and all my talented Filipinos take up their space in community organizing, creating new dances, creating new music, all within this collective space. That's my
Oh, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It's been backburnered, but it's still there.
Yeah, no, manifest that shit. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I think I could talk to you forever. We're not going to though. Emmy, I had a great time chatting. How else can people get a hold of you?
Probably my Instagram. I have 3 accounts that I use pretty regularly. So my personal is EME underscore like the award. So it's ME underscore like the award, as in the Emmy Award. My cannabis friendly one is People on Cannabinoids, all one word, at People on Cannabinoids. And if anyone likes bulldogs, I have the cutest one on the West Coast, and his name is Toki. You can find him at Bulldog Toki, one word, and that's all me too.
Legit the cutest bulldog. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. That's why his name's Toki. Toki, son of stoners. I do have Twitter, but I don't really use it. But it's again under the same name, Emmy like the award. And People on Cannabinoids, Twitter is POCS for POCS, POCS 4, number 4, POCS. Otherwise, you can find me working communications and culture coordinating at Pasha Brands. On the weekends, I'm at the Sanctuary of the Rastafarian Order. And you can catch me on stage and behind the scenes at various events throughout the year with Katara Indigenous Filipino Arts Collective.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. So I am going to strongly encourage anyone listening to follow Emmy on Insta, on Twitter. Definitely follow Bulldog Toki on Instagram if you want to make your existence brighter. Toki will make you smile. And follow Emmy because you'll learn so much. You will be inspired by what they're doing out in the cannabis space and outside of the cannabis space, uplifting folks, building community, and just being like a totally rad human being. That is my definition of Emmy in a nutshell. So I am so happy you and I were able to chat, Emmy. Thank you so much for joining me on Herb Life Sessions. Oh, thank you so much for sharing.